Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. This will be my winter book haul. I am trying to do quarterly book hauls. I did this kind of sort of last year, I think. I made it. I think I did 4. 1 for each season. I do it at the end of the season, so winter is over now. So these are all the books I acquired in winter. If you're asking, Lucy, I thought you were on a book buying ban. Why do you have a book haul at all? Well, first of all, some of these books I did acquire in December before the book buying ban. Second of all, I failed the book buying ban. I'm a failure. That's all there is to it. I could give you an excuse, but there's no excuse. I acquired books, I bought books, I got books from NetGalley. I did it. Before I get started and showing you all the books that I have gotten so far this year, I did want to mention something about the recent Asian hate crimes that we have experienced in America. The one in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, so those were close to me. The reason I'm mentioning it now and not in earlier videos is this is actually the first video that I'm filming since that happened, and my previous videos were pre-filmed and I felt weird about inserting a little webcam clip, so I just wanted to mention it now. I have been putting links in the description box of ways you can help to stop Asian hate, stop hate crimes and racism against Asian American Pacific Islanders, so I will continue doing that. There are links in this description box as well for GoFundMes for the victims of this Atlanta hate crime, and it was a hate crime. I'm not here to argue about it. All racism is bad. White supremacy is bad. I'm not here to argue about that either. So I just wanted to put that out there just in case. I'm sure if you know me at all, you know where I stand on such issues. And also if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you have already seen me retweet things and such. But I did want to mention that. Now I guess we're going to go into the book haul. About the book haul, I do want to mention that these are all the books that I have bought and publishers have sent me, and ebooks that I bought, but I'm not doing NetGalley ARCs that I've received because there's just too many. I don't want to make a 30-minute book haul. And we can talk about the implications of my book buying ban with that as well some other time. These books are not in any particular order. They're vaguely in the order that I think I might have acquired them, but I could be wrong. First, we have A Universe of Wishes, edited by Danielle Clayton. This is a We Need Diverse Books anthology. These are just short stories written by a diverse group of authors, specifically fantasy stories. So, excited to read this. This is the Owl Crate edition, which I have already unboxed a while ago now. If you want to see that unboxing of that Owl Crate box. I'm a chicken. Anyway, if you want to see the unboxing for that, then that will be linked down below and in the cards, as well as affiliate links for all the books that have been mentioned in this video in case you also want to buy them. Well, you can't buy actually you might be able to buy this one. I'm not sure if they sold out of it. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. A couple years ago, if you're around on my channel, I feel like I was talking more about like self-help books and stuff. I sort of kind of stopped, not because I figured out myself or got myself the help I need. I just started reading other books, but I'm starting to get back into it and I want to try and like really figure out what I'm doing with money. So this guy's gonna teach me how to be rich. So I bought the book. Really, I have heard good things about this book otherwise. And so I'm interested, and it looks like a fun read, if that makes sense. Maybe it's just fun to me, but it has, you know, little boxes with colors and things like that. Not really diagrams and stuff, but, you know, lots of quotes and examples. I don't know. I just think I'm going to enjoy reading it. I'm a nerd, everybody. If you couldn't tell by me having a YouTube channel about books. Next, I have the box set of the Shadow and Bone Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. I have already done a whole 3 reading vlogs about each of the books in this series. These are the like new covers, and I complained in the Shadow and Bone reading vlog, if you haven't already seen it, about the fact that I just ruined this box set also. The fact that these covers have this Netflix little thing on it, and it's not a sticker. It's printed right there on the cover forever. And I'm not mad about it. Who's mad about it? I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad. I'm fine. I love stickers that can never be removed because they're printed on the cover. Who asked for that? But the actual reading experience, if you want to hear about it, you can check out those vlogs. And the box set, other than the sticker, is cool. I kind of like the new covers. I do prefer the old covers, but I do also own those. They're just in my parents' house, which is hundreds of miles away from me right now. To continue on the Leigh Bardugo train, train of thought. I don't know what I was trying to say. Another Leigh Bardugo book, The Language of Thorns. I got this because I am trying to reread all of the Grishaverse books, and this was one I hadn't owned already, so I have acquired all the ones that I need to own the entire collection because I needed it. I don't know. But this is a short story collection of short stories and like fairy tales set in the world of the Grisha. So it's supposed to be kind of like bedtime stories that maybe people in that world would have heard and things like that. But it has fun, cool illustrations, and the words are printed in color. Look at that. So I'm excited to read this. There's other colors other than red too. Look at that. I'm excited. I am behind on my reread, if you couldn't already tell by the fact that I only have the Shadow and Bone vlogs out, and Rule of Wolves comes out like this week, I think, by the time you're seeing this. So I'm not prepared at all, but it's fine. And the other Leigh Bardugo book I got was The Lives of Saints, illustrated by Daniel J. Zollinger. Let's look at the illustrations. Why not? Okay, so here's an illustration. And these are short stories that are based on a book that Alina, the main character from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, acquires during the trilogy. And it's supposed to be like the stories of the saints in that world. So we get to see all these like stories that people grow up hearing about their beloved saints, you know? This one also has a godforsaken sticker on it. That's not a real fucking sticker. Sorry for my language. But, you know, this naked book cover is pretty good, so I might just take off the dust jacket anyway since it's only half the book. I don't know. We'll see. The Wicker King by Ankrum. I honestly have very little idea of what this book is about. I've been following the author on Twitter for a while, and she has very funny tweets and very interesting tweets, and it makes me interested in how her mind works, so it made me want to read her book. I've also heard good things about this book. It follows two boys who have an intense friendship, and one of them starts seeing vivid hallucinations, and so the other one is trying to help him through it or something like that. And it says, written with vivid intensity, The Wicker King explores a relationship fraught with tension, madness, and love. So it sounds very interesting. I've heard that this is kind of a weird book, which I'm interested in. And also, don't look at the words, but there's like a design element to the hardcover, which is why I wanted to get it, because as the book goes on, the pages get darker and stuff, and it looks really cool. Concrete Rose by Andrew Thomas. Do I need an explanation on what this is, why I got it? I feel like everybody knows why I got it. Also, most people have already gotten it. But yes, I needed this to complete my Andrew Thomas collection. This follows Star from The Hate U Give's dad as he's growing up, and after he has his first child, Star's older brother, when he is a teenager, and it follows him trying to get out of gang life and understanding what it means to be a man. I have now realized that I have not been interspersing my ebooks that I've acquired between the physical books, so I apologize for that. Maybe I should just hold it off until the end, but we'll just stick some in here. I acquired 2 ebooks at the end of December. Charming as a Verb by Philippe. I've talked about this a couple number of times because I keep meaning to read it, but I haven't read it yet. But basically this follows a Haitian American teenager who lives in New York City, and he can charm just about anyone, and he's also the resident dog walker for his Upper West Side rich neighbors. However, there is one person his charms don't work on, a girl in his class named Corinne, who also discovers that Henry's dog walking business is less than honest, so she blackmails him into helping her gain a better reputation. The other ebook that I acquired in December was Escaping Exodus by Nikki Drayden. This is a fantasy story / sci-fi, I think. Maybe it's more sci-fi than fantasy. Anyway, it's set in like the very far future. Earth is gone, and now people live on these vacuum-breathing space beasts and mining the creatures for resources, which sounds very, very interesting. Colonies exist that like hop around from beast to beast. Like once they've exhausted one for its resources, they find a new one to then take over. So I feel like humanity is really living up to the parasite thing. But we follow one person who, after her colony / people has just culled their latest beast, she wants to find out why there are weird tremors going on in the ship. She teams up with her best friend and beast worker to go into restricted areas and figure out what's going on. And then she is unexpectedly thrust into the role of clan matriarch, so she has to get used to whatever's going on there. And then her claim to the throne is challenged, and it seems like there's a lot going on, and I'm really interested in reading this. I've heard good things about it from, I believe, Chloe at Thistle and Verse and Jerry from Onyx Pages, so I'm excited to read it. Next, we have a couple of books that I was sent by publishers, and then we'll go back to the ebooks. I have Fireborn by Rosaria Munda, and also the sequel, Flamefall. These are both sent to me by Penguin Teen, and I actually have a reading vlog featuring these books that is coming out very soon. The basic gist of the story is that we follow two people who are growing up in the society where the dragon riders are the head of the society, because people can ride dragons. Dragons exist in this world. And the two people are from opposite sides of the society, basically. One of them grew up as part of the dragon riders family, or was born into that family, and the other one's family was executed by dragon riders. But everything changes after a revolution where the new governing people decide that everyone should get a chance to test to become a dragon rider instead of just the nobility who were born into that family can become one. And so these two characters become friends because they're in proximity to each other, as well as both growing up in an orphanage. And we get to see as things happen after the survivors from the old regime start to come back, and the character who was born in that old regime has to decide whether he's going to kill his former family or betray everything he has come to know, and the other character has to decide whether she's going to protect him or step up to become the champion her city needs. We Are Each Other's Harvest by Natalie Bazile. This I received from Harper Perennial in exchange for an Instagram post. I'm gonna read like the second half of the inside flap. As national conversations on reparations reach a high, African Americans' contributions to agriculture become central to addressing economic disparity, food justice, climate change, and intergenerational wealth. Natalie Bazile offers an outstanding vantage of these interwoven subjects in a bountiful and harmonious chorus of essays, poems, photographs, quotes, conversations, and first-person stories that reveal a long, rich agricultural history of Black people and their connection to American land from emancipation to today. She reminds us that land, well-earned and fiercely protected, transcends history and signifies a home that can be tended, tilled, and passed to succeeding generations with pride. So that all sounds very interesting to me. I did not expect this book to be so thick, with 3 C's, I think. But it seems like it's going to be very interesting. Like it says, there's like poetry, essays, photographs. Let's see if I can find one. Photographs and more. And so it seems like overall well-designed book at the very least, and I'm excited to read this. Hello, hi. I'm inserting this clip in here because I realized I forgot to haul one book, and that book was probably one of the most important books. That was Raybearer. I was supposed to do it first because it was filling a hole in my bookshelf, and I didn't want to have that hole, so I put it back on the bookshelf and I was going to do it first, but I forgot about it. So I acquired Raybearer. I'm still planning to do a full video review soon. I just haven't done it yet, but I've explained the synopsis of this in my August catch-up wrap-up, I think number 3 or number 2. It'll be linked down below. This is an amazing fantasy novel that I loved very much. I gave it 5 stars. That's all you really need to know. And now we're gonna go back to the video. And lastly, we have 3 ebooks that I bought so far this year. In my defense, I was acquiring Kindle credits / digital Amazon credits, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you know that sometimes you can get your order later and then they give you credits. But did you know that those credits expire? So they were all expiring at basically the same time. So I ended up buying a bunch of ebooks, 3 ebooks, a bunch to me. And yes, because otherwise I would have just lost the credit. So first we have Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. We follow 16-year-old Tessa Johnson, who has never felt like the protagonist of her own life. She's rarely seen herself reflected on the pages of romance novels that she loves. When Tessa is accepted into the creative writing program at a prestigious art school, she's excited to finally let her story shine. But when she goes to her first workshop, she realizes she's hit a very intense writer's block. However, her best friend thinks she has just the solution for this problem. Tessa just needs to find some inspiration in a real-life love story of her own. So Tessa goes on this journey of checking off this list of romance novel-inspired steps to a happily ever after. However, as she checks off more and more items from this list, she realizes she's getting further and further away from herself. She's well on her way to having her own real-life love story, but is it the one she wants after all? So it sounds fun and cute. I've heard mixed things about it, but I'm still excited to read it. The Black God's Drums by P. Jelly Clark. This is set in an alternate New Orleans, caught in the tangle of the American Civil War. A wall-scaling girl named Creeper yearns to escape the streets for the air, specifically by earning a spot on the airship midnight robber. Creeper plans to earn the captain's trust by giving her information she discovers about a Haitian scientist and a secret weapon he calls the Black God's drums. But Creeper has her own secrets. Oya, the African Orisha of the winds and storms, speaks to her in her head and may have her own ulterior motives. Soon Creeper, Oya, and the crew of the Midnight Robber are pulled into a mysterious mission to stop the Black God's drums from being unleashed and wiping out the entirety of New Orleans. So, I'm sure you've heard of P. Djeli Clark before. His other book, Ring Shout, is very famous. I think it won a bunch of awards last year. I'm not quite prepared to read that yet because it is about the KKK, but this one sounds very interesting and I've heard good things about his writing specifically, and I've heard good things about this book. It has 4.5 stars on Amazon right now, and it is editor's pick for best science fiction and fantasy. And lastly, a book I forgot I bought, another one by Philippe, The Field Guide to the North American Teenager. This might be his debut. I could be lying about that. This follows a Black French Canadian who ends up moving to Austin, Texas, plunked into a new high school and sweating a ridiculous amount from the oppressive Texas heat. The main character finds himself cataloging everyone he meets based on American high school stereotypes like the cheerleaders, the jocks, the loners, even the manic pixie dream girl. However, even though he's been trying to keep his distance, he finds that he might actually like these people, he might actually be making friends, and he might even have a crush on the girl he dubbed the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Until prom night, when he royally fricks everything up and he has to figure out a way to fix it. So apparently I have 2 books by Philippe now in my ownership, so hopefully I enjoy them. Those are all the books that I had to speak to you all about in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. In the comments down below, give me a book emoji. Let me know about any books that you may have recently acquired. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Do all the things YouTubers do. Make sure to check the description box for the links that I will leave down below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!